So I know that in my personal experience, and maybe others have had the same thing, if you feel the call, you feel the dissatisfaction, and then you resist it, and then life starts kind of putting the brakes on things that maybe you're used to doing and having. And now maybe your bank account starts to dry up. Maybe the jobs that you have start to dry up. And you start wondering what the hell happened. And it's because you're resisting the call. Have you ever had it? The laughter that you have tells me you have some experience with it.
Yeah, I love this. I think of this as the divine or God saying to you, how much would you like to suffer until you do what you're being asked to do? Would you like a little more suffering? Because we can do that.
It
How,
was just like,
how,
listen.
like that's fine. You can resist it. And honestly, like as a coach, this is one thing that I've learned to be able to hold space for people when they're resisting and when you can see that they're about to step into more suffering because they're not ready to answer the call yet, and to trust that everybody's process through that threshold is perfect for them. And some of us need a little more loud. We need the lesson to be a little louder. We need to lose a little more money, or we need to damage one more relationship before we're willing to humble ourselves enough to surrender. And it's
Sometimes,
hard. It can be
mm,
hard to watch the people in our lives do this when we can see what's coming. But the more my faith has grown, the more I've been able to just say that's what's called for, and there's no problem.
yeah, no, some people, I've heard it called, running back into the fire. Sometimes you need to run back into the fire. And sometimes,
Mhm.
and there's nothing wrong with that either. It's not comfortable.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, not unscathed here. There's been many times where I knew it was going to call something bigger. I knew it was going to change things. And I was not ready for that change. I didn't feel like I had the capacity. I didn't feel
Yeah.
like I had the ability or the right to go in that direction. And I stayed where I was at. And yeah, it wasn't comfortable. But for me, in some ways, it was familiar. For me, in some ways, it felt safer than what I was feeling would that might rock the boat.
I think we're always receiving messages about what the next step is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll come through with like, you need to pick up the phone and call this person and clean up that relationship. You need to take accountability for this thing. And you can feel it in your field. Honestly, everybody listening actually knows what I'm talking about right now.
I think so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we all know. We
We
all
we
know.
all we all know this
Mm-hmm.
feeling.
Yeah.
It's just the part of us that likes to pretend that we don't. Because when we're receiving, and I've heard this said from a Buddhist practitioner, that God is pressure. When you're feeling pressure of what you know you need to do next, it nothing is gonna really move until you do that thing. And we could bypass it for a little bit, right? We're like, oh, okay, that's cute, blah, blah, blah. It's just gonna come back louder, sometimes in the form of another person recreating the same situation, until I turn around and face that lesson.